Hey there. It's almost the end of December 2022, and this is the time of year when we look back over the year and evaluate, think about what went well, what we would like to change. And I've been thinking about my Spanish, and maybe you've been thinking about your English. I am very impatient and would really like to speak more fluently. So today I'm talking about the power of making little changes. That is called incrementalism, because an increment is just a teeny bit. So let's talk about the power of small changes.
English Without Fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories.
Do you know what the winter solstice is? Solstice has to do with the sun. And here in the northern hemisphere, I live in America, United States of America. December 21st was the shortest day of the year. That means that the nighttime, when it's dark, was the longest, and daylight, the number of hours and minutes and seconds of daylight, was the shortest. I always rejoice when that day is past because it means the days are getting longer. And who doesn't like long days? But I was surprised to learn that the difference in change from December 21st to December 22nd was only 4 or 5 seconds. The day was maybe 5 seconds longer than the previous day. And so when I looked all this up, when I Googled it, I learned that the lengthening of days starts very slowly, 4 or 5 seconds a day. But by the end of January, it's up to 2 minutes a day in lengthening daylight. And in February, it reaches the fastest change, 3 minutes. But then something happens. The rate or speed or length of change, the amount of seconds and minutes added to daylight slows down. Now maybe you feel that way with your English learning, that you started out slowly, but then pretty quickly you saw lots and lots of progress, lots of growth, and you felt encouraged. That happened to me with Spanish. But then you're in this kind of middle zone where it doesn't feel like you're making much progress. Well, I want to encourage you because our universe does not operate on fast. The way God created the universe is through slowness. Now, sure, there are some changes that happen overnight, rapidly, but the main pattern of change and growth is slow, incrementally, bit by bit by bit. Just think of moms who have babies and toddlers and little kids. Raising them to be independent feels like it takes forever. What about potty training? Getting a child to stop depending on a diaper and use the toilet himself or herself. That takes a long time. Moms learn patience. But any new habit requires patience and time. Think about an exercise program. Think about a diet. It's the same. It's the same no matter what skill or habit you want to develop. We go slowly. In fact, experts in coaching about habits, they say, make a small change that you can commit to, that you can keep on doing every day. You can always increase it, but start small. Sometimes people say, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. That might last 2 weeks and then they give up. Have you heard of Winston Churchill? Winston Churchill was a British and English prime minister. That's like a leader in England during World War II. And he gave a famous speech, and it was simple, easy to remember. He said, never, never, never give up. That's what we have to do. That has to be our commitment, whether it's learning English, learning to play the piano, anything. Incrementally, little change after little change, we progress. Sorry, that's a hard word. There is progress. We talk about the progress we're making, but the verb, the activity is to progress. I'm progressing in my language learning. I would say, I was thinking about this, that, okay, I'm at 4 years, almost 7 months of learning, working with Spanish. And on average, I spend 1 to 2 hours a day doing something with Spanish. So maybe I can speak Spanish like a 4-year-old. Of course, not with a native accent. I don't think I'll ever have a native accent, but that's okay. But maybe when I reach year 10, I'll speak as fluently as a 10-year-old. That's what you have to consider. Where you want to go, where you might be in 10 years or 15 years if God gives you that time. I'll leave you with 2 thoughts. One is an encouragement and one is something for you to avoid not doing. We have a saying here in English, a watched pot never boils. So look at these scientists. They're bending over a pot of hot water on a stove, and they're trying to record how long it takes for the water to boil, to dance, to heat up. It feels like it's taking forever. That's why they say a watched pot never boils. But before you know it, if you don't keep watching it, the water is boiling. So don't keep measuring your progress. Don't keep looking at yourself. Just continue your English for the fun of it, for the connections with other people. Isn't that why you want to learn English? So you can communicate with other people? You can do that no matter how little you know about English or how much. You can start right away. Don't be afraid to speak. And the encouragement is, think about the solstice. Right now, the daylight is getting a little bit longer, 5 or 6 seconds a day. But you know what? Whatever the speed of the lengthening of days, how fast that happens, by June 21st, the days are going to be long. So it doesn't matter if the pace, the speed is slow. It doesn't matter that it's incremental, a few seconds, maybe 1 or 2 minutes a day, the result is guaranteed to happen. Same thing for you and for me. If we don't give up, if we don't stop, we will meet our goal one of these days. Friends, let's encourage one another no matter what the goal is, and let's be gentle with ourselves. And I just wish you in 2023 a very happy, ongoing adventure with English. Well, that's it for this episode and for the year. I'm Maria from English Without Fear. See you next year.
Thanks for watching. For questions or comments, here's my email